The Green Children of Woolpit. The year was 1150. A peaceful farming village named Woolpit in England. Peasants were out in the fields, working their usual shifts. But they had no idea that today, something was about to emerge from the earth. Something that would baffle scientists and historians for the next 900 years. Imagine working your land, and suddenly, you hear terrifying cries coming from a deep wolf pit. You walk over, look down, and your heart stops. Sitting in the mud are two children, but their skin isn't normal. It is completely bright neon green. The confusion in the village. This isn't a fairy tale. This is a real event documented in England's official historical records. As the farmers pulled the children out of the pit, panic broke out. It was a boy and a girl, likely siblings. Their skin was the color of fresh green leaves. They wore strange clothes made of an unknown, unrecognizable material. The villagers dragged them to the house of the local landowner, Sir Richard Decon. The entire village gathered, staring in absolute horror. People started shouting, "They are demons! Burn them alive!" The food mystery. Sir Richard took pity on the terrified children and gave them shelter. But that's when the real mystery began. The children were weeping hysterically and clearly starving. The villagers brought out a massive feast, freshly baked bread, cooked meat, milk, and fruits. But the children pushed it away, terrified. Days passed. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. They refused to eat a single bite. They were on the verge of death, their bodies weakening, yet their green color remained vibrant. The villagers were convinced they wouldn't survive the week. The bean breakthrough. Then, a sudden breakthrough happened. A farmer walked in carrying freshly harvested green beans, still in their pods. The moment the children saw the green beans, their eyes lit up. They desperately grabbed the stalks. But strangely, instead of eating them, they tried to open the bean stalks. When they found nothing inside, they burst into tears again. A villager stepped in, opened the actual pod, and showed them the beans inside. Instantly, the children began devouring them like they hadn't eaten in centuries. For months, they refused to touch anything except raw green beans. The death of the boy, but a dark tragedy was waiting. The younger boy couldn't adapt to the new atmosphere and the local water. He fell severely ill. Slowly, his vibrant green color began to fade into a sickly pale tone, and one night, his heart stopped beating. He passed away. The girl was left entirely alone, devastated by the loss of her brother. But over time, she adapted. She finally began eating normal food. And as her diet changed, something incredible happened. Her green pigment completely vanished, revealing normal human skin. The girl reveals the secret. Sir Richard raised her as a servant, and she eventually learned to speak fluent English. Once she could communicate, Sir Richard and the local scholars sat her down for the ultimate question. Who are you? Where did you come from? And why was your skin green? Her response sent chills down their spines. She said, "We come from St. Martin's Land. It's a place where the sun never rises. There is no bright daylight, only a permanent, eerie twilight. And everything there, the trees, the ground, and every single person is completely green." How they got lost. When asked how they ended up in Woolpit, she explained that she and her brother were herding their father's cattle. Suddenly, they heard a strange sound, like the ringing of distant church bells coming from a massive, dark cave. Chasing the sound, they wandered deep into the cavern. They walked for hours until a sudden, blinding flash of light hit them. When they opened their eyes, they were trapped in the muddy wolf pit of Woolpit. The blinding sunlight was painfully burning their eyes, and when they turned around to run back, the cave entrance was entirely gone. The modern life. The villagers were terrified, whispering rumors of fairies, spirits, or extraterrestrials. The girl remained in the village, eventually married a local man, was baptized under the name Agnes, and lived out the rest of her life normally. But her story remained buried in ancient texts for centuries. What is the real truth? the science. So what is the truth? Was there a hidden underworld, or is there a dark medical explanation? Modern medical researchers have uncovered a fascinating, highly logical answer. They believe the children suffered from chlorosis, historically known as the green sickness. This is a severe form of iron deficiency anemia caused by extreme malnutrition. It literally starves the body of red blood cells, turning human skin a distinct greenish hue. They were likely orphans of Flemish immigrants fleeing a brutal war, hiding in dark, underground caves, which explains their fear of sunlight and their unknown language. But if it was just a disease, how do you explain her detailed descriptions of an entire twilight world? Was she making it up, or is there a part of our planet we have yet to discover? What do you think? Were they aliens, time travelers, or just sick children? Drop your theories in the comments below. If you want more dark medical files, hit that subscribe and like button right now. See you in the next mystery.